of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson, celebrating 25 years of commitment to Guam, Micronesia, and the CNMI. Cars Plus Hyundai, home of the Kona electric vehicle, an electric heart with an SUV soul. Test drive yours today at Cars Plus. McDonald's of Guam, I'm Loving It, and King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
The latest with the murder of a local doctor is the prime suspect, Akmal Koziv, is magistrated in Superior Court. And the United States Supreme Court hears a case involving the SSI program and how certain Americans are denied these benefits because of where they live, including those who live in Guam. And legislation introduced to rename Route 3 in honor of the late Congressman and Marine Corps General Ben Blas. These stories and more right here, right now on KUAM.
Hafaday and good evening. Topping our news tonight, the latest with Sunday's murder in Tamuning that left a local physician dead. The suspect, Akmal Koziv, appeared before Superior Court Magistrate Judge Benjamin Sison this afternoon. Koziv is charged with aggravated murder and aggravated assault for the death of Dr. Miran Rebati. They allegedly argued over vaccinations. Koziv allegedly stabbed him multiple times in the neck with a knife. Judge Sison set bail at $1 million cash. His next hearing will be before Judge Arthur Barcinas on November 19th. Also from Superior Court, Brandon James Flaherty, Curtis James Blas, Donovan Elliott Alianza Carriaga appeared before Magistrate Judge Benjamin Sison this afternoon. Flaherty and Carriaga both pleaded not guilty to the charges of aggravated murder. Blas, however, was appointed a new lawyer, Douglas Moylan, because of a conflict of interest. He will now be arraigned on November 24th. Back in September of 2017, Adam Messier threatened to report his roommate, Jason Alianza, to the landlord for his illicit drug use. Thamashina Rios alleged she witnessed Alianza, who is now deceased, Blas, Carriaga, and Flaherty beat up Messier and then disposed of his body. The Attorney General's office confirms that autopsies were completed over the weekend for Adam Messier and Michael Castro. Messier and Castro's remains were discovered in Jigo a couple of weeks ago. Messier is a cold case from 2017. As we reported, Curtis James Blas, Donovan Carriaga, and Brandon James Flaherty were indicted for his murder. As for Michael Castro, his body was also located in Jigo a couple of weeks ago. He was reported missing in October of last year. Arrested and indicted for his murder were Troy Damian and Nicholas Wayne Moore. KUAM is waiting for more information from the Guam Police Department to confirm whether the autopsies conducted on the remains positively identified the victims. And Manuel Tao pleaded not guilty in Superior Court today before Magistrate Judge Sison. Tao faces a myriad of charges for an incident that occurred in August involving John Pinaula, who was beaten, stabbed, and set on fire in Jigo. Tao today pled not guilty to aggravated attempted murder. As we reported, Pinaula, however, passed away last month. The AG's office confirms a forensic autopsy was conducted over the weekend. The prosecution is reviewing the results, and a determination will be made whether additional charges will be filed. And the U.S. Supreme Court early this morning heard oral arguments in United States versus Jose Luis Vallelo Madero case. At the center of the lawsuit is the Supplemental Security Income, or SSI program. He was eligible for SSI when he was living in the mainland, but he was ineligible when he moved to Puerto Rico. If you live in the U.S. territories like Guam, you are ineligible to receive SSI benefits. In September, Guam Attorney General Levin Camacho co-led a coalition of 18 attorney generals to file a friend of the court brief urging the U.S. Supreme Court to reject the exclusion of Guam and the other U.S. territories from the SSI and other federal aid programs. Representing him was attorney Herman Ferre. Representing the government was attorney Curtis E. Gannon.
You have any where we have transferred the treatment of a state to an individual?
I think, Your Honor, that this is a circumstance in which, because of the characterization of these unincorporated territories, anyone who now moves to these unincorporated territories is deemed now to be in a foreign country. And so that is the issue here. So I think that that does highlight that even if a non-Puerto Rican moves to Puerto Rico, They are now treated as being outside of their nation.
Puerto Ricans are Puerto Ricans. They're Hispanic, and they are routinely denied a political voice. They're powerless politically. All you have to do is, well, listen to some of the rhetoric about Puerto Rico, and you know there has been discrimination shown. Why shouldn't that add to the scrutiny?
Well, this statute classifies on the basis of location, not ethnicity or race. That's why respondent was able to get these benefits while he was living in New York. He's not able to get them while he's living in Puerto Rico. There's no evidence that anyone on the other side has cited that ties this determination in the 1970s about how Puerto Rico would be treated in this benefits program to any of the troubling statements in the insular cases from the early 20th century that came from this court.
Meanwhile, included in the Build Back Better Act before Congress is a provision that would include Guam and other U.S. territories in the SSI program that is expected to up for a vote any day now. And in regional news, Saipan lawmaker Selena Babauta responds to the governor's scathing letter alleging that the Democratic-led House probe is misinforming the public. Here's more. The governor did not mince words in his letter to JGO Committee Chair Selena Babauta, and she didn't either on the link Wednesday morning.
As far as no other governor has ever been harassed for this long, well, no other governor has ever been raided by the FBI. Let's put it that way.
The legislative probe into the governor's spending and travel continues to escalate as Torres calls its legitimacy into question.
There is a serious concern out there from the public, from the legislature. We are a separate branch and we're doing our job.
And that work comes from documents that are black and white.
As far as slander and misinforming, again, the documents speak for themselves. We certainly haven't ever come out in the newspaper and informed the public of any lies. The documents will speak for themselves.
It's unclear if former Guam Senator Will Castro will speak for himself after the committee issued him a subpoena.
The line of questioning for Mr. Will Castro relates to his former position as a senator from Guam. There were many instances in the governor's documents that allude to meetings with him and providing material things to the former senator. So that's what the line of questioning will be on.
You can watch the full interview on our YouTube channel. The new Marine Corps base is named after him. Now there is a proposal to name the highway leading to the base after him as well. Senator Chris Duenas has introduced a bill to designate Route 3 in Dededo as Ben Blas Boulevard in honor of the late Marine Corps General and former Republican Congressman Vicente Ben Blas. The bill is...
It'll be a very fitting tribute, and I think it's the right thing to do. You know, our armed forces made the decision, I think a very appropriate and very good decision, to name the Marine base as Camp Blas. And of course on Guam, I mean, that's certainly our hero. I mean, first flag officer, his life story, going into veterans, first of all, Marine Corps birthday today, and then going into Veterans Day, his life story is just amazing.
The bill is co-sponsored by Senators Frank Blas Jr. and Tony Atta. And the aircraft carrier USS Carl Vinson with 5,000 sailors aboard will be making a port visit tomorrow. Crew members will be allowed shore liberty while here, but only vaccinated sailors will be authorized to go off base. The Navy says the Nimitz-class warship has one of the highest overall vaccination rates in the Defense Department. The carrier will be accompanied by a strike group that includes 3 other ships. The Carl Vinson departed from its base in San Diego on August 2nd. According to a news release, the ship is deployed with the 7th Fleet to serve as a ready response force in support of a free and open Indo-Pacific region. The Navy identified at least 3 Guam residents who are serving aboard the carrier. They are Lieutenant Commander Camille Pizarro, Chief Petty Officer Christian Cabedo, and Seaman Maria Jolene Maglasang. The Carl Vinson made its last port call to Guam in 2018. And once again, we invite you to voice your view with our daily question across our social media pages. Today we ask, what should be done to address drug use and crimes on island? We'll share responses on the link on Friday. Stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
From now until December 31, enter to win the 1 million Pacific Points giveaway. Simply activate your account, refer friends, earn and redeem points at Foodies, Shell, and ITE. Learn more about the 1 million Pacific Points giveaway at PacificPoints.com. Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
Taco Bell is so good and so cheap.
I know, right? I wonder why.
What if they know we're broke? What if they're trying to be the good guys?
Yeah. Thanks, Taco Bell!
We value relationships because when we commit,
I love you guys until you're 80, until you're 90, until you're 100, forever.
we are in it for the long run, so you can enjoy the moments that matter. Because when we commit to relationships, we never stop caring. Calvo's Select Care, health care that is always there for you. Federal employees and annuitants enroll today.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com.
Some somber news to report as the Joint Information Center reported last night that Guam recorded 6 COVID-19 related fatalities, including 2 that were previously unreported in September and October. The 2 of those who passed away were fully vaccinated. This brings the total number of people who have died on Guam related to coronavirus to 255 since March of last year. And you could be getting your land back, as the Department of Defense is currently in the process of transferring hundreds of acres back to the government of Guam. Here's more.
The Department of Defense says hundreds of acres of excess federal lands are currently in the process of being given back to the government of Guam, but whether or not GovGuam will return these lands to the original landowners remains to be seen. Navy Secretary Kenneth Braithwaite, in a letter to Governor Lou Leon Guerrero, responding to her inquiry about potential excess lands being returned to GovGuam, providing an updated list of 231 acres in the process of being returned to GovGuam, 95 acres of land subject to, quote, potential transfer, also listed 6,225 acres of submerged lands. The transfers in process of 231 acres give return dates from the year 2022 to 2026. The biggest parcels currently in the process of being returned to GovGuam right now, Parcel 7 of the former CB base Camp Covington, totaling 60 acres, 15.5 acres at the PD Power Plant and Substation, 13.3 acres at Tangisan Beach Park, 6 acres at Agatna Diesel Power Plant, 5.5 acres at USO Beach Park, and 5 acres at Marble Cave. Of lands subject to potential transfer, Secretary Braithwaite listed, the biggest parcel is 102 acres, making up portions of the Eagles Field area, which the governor intends to use for the billion-dollar healthcare complex. Other parcels include 23 acres at Tumon Tank Farm, 5 acres west of Route 3, and 2 acres next to the Nimitz Reservoir, among others. Also listed as potential to transfer, 6,225 acres of submerged lands from Jigo, Asin, and Tangisan. Guam Law 21 GCA Chapter 80 says properties returned to GovGuam from the federal government are to be returned to original landowners. However, in the event returned lands are kept by GovGuam for, quote, continued public benefit, original landowners or their heirs are to be compensated via the land bank, according to Guam Ancestral Lands Director John Birch. For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
In the Navy Secretary's list, DoD also gave justification on why it wasn't returning 1,818 acres of land to GovGuam, with the reasons mostly dealing with mission essentiality and security. The Guam legislature recognized the hard work of World War II survivor Irene Perez Ploke Scambaluri of Hagat, who advocated tirelessly for Guahan's war claims. She was presented a legislative resolution today acknowledging her efforts to press for war claims and share the island's dark history through public speaking engagements, numerous media interviews, and attending World War II memorial ceremonies. Scambaluri spoke before the legislature, thanking them for the recognition As she says, war reparations are not a monetary gain. Instead, it's a vital step to ensuring all who suffered during the island's difficult time more than 7 decades ago are not forgotten.
I, like many others, have fought hard to keep war reparations at the forefront. For many of us, it is not about the money or payout, but war reparation symbolizes that the suffering of the Romanian people has not and will not be buried with the past.
The Guam Pacific Island Gold Star Memorial Monument is one step closer to being built. Senators held a public hearing on follow-up legislation to approve the plans for the monument. Local coordinators have been working with the Woody Williams Foundation, which is funding the project. Williams is a World War II Medal of Honor recipient and one of the Guam liberators. Project spokesman Duran Cruz says due to anticipated delays, the ribbon cutting and dedicated ceremony will be pushed back from Memorial Day next year to Liberation Day.
Symbolic and commemorative of July 21st, the liberation of Guam, and Woody being one of the liberators. This is very symbolic. And in our conversation during that Zoom meeting, we wanted to remind the foundation that we wanted full publicity of this monument, and we got assurance that this is one of Woody's bigger, if not the biggest, dedication that he is so excited to attend and be part of.
The Gold Star Memorial Monument will be built next to the Purple Heart Monument at Skinner Plaza. It's meant to honor family members of military personnel who died in service to the country. And senators held a public hearing to address a pair of bills that seek to improve the lives of those that served on Guam during the Vietnam War and were exposed to toxic chemicals, primarily Agent Orange. Our Tyler Matanani reports.
Yesterday, lawmakers addressed 2 bills that aim to federally recognize, compensate, and provide proper health care to veterans that were exposed to toxic chemicals, primarily Agent Orange, while serving on Guam during the Vietnam War. The 2 bills were the Honoring Our Promise to Address Comprehensive Toxics Act of 2021 and the Lonnie Kilpatrick Central Pacific Herbicide Relief. Senator Sabina Perez expanded on open burn and open detonation pits, or OBOD, that continue to be practiced on Guam since 1980 in the northern part of the island.
The most vulnerable, such as our children and people with pre-existing heart and lung conditions, are most at risk from exposure to particulate matter. Long and short-term exposures to fine particles can harm people's health, leading to heart attacks, asthma, and premature death.
She continued saying that OBOD pits are based on a dirty technology with virtually no emission controls and have resulted in extensive contamination and staggering cleanup costs that can reach more than $500 million at a single site. Attorney and chair of Military Veterans Advocacy, Inc., Commander John Wells, gave his testimony.
They had the incinerators, they still used the burn pits. Why? Because it was easy. Well, we've got to get DOD to understand that their effects and what they do has impact throughout the environment.
He adds that once they get the coverage and recognition for the veterans, their work will expand to the Chamorro population. You can view the full hearing on the legislature's YouTube page. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Tyler Matanani.
Public Health has finally secured its Seed to Sale program, bringing the island one step closer to the full implementation of the Guam's adult use cannabis law. Public Health Director Art San Agustin signed a contract with Metric, a U.S.-based provider of cannabis regulatory systems. According to a release, their system combines advanced software, radio frequency identification, a dedicated customer support team, and a secure database to track cannabis from growth, harvest, and processing to testing, transport, and sale. The Cannabis Control Board is scheduled to meet Friday to review changes to cannabis rules and regulations made by the Attorney General, Levan Camacho. Once those changes are formally adopted by the CCB, the rules will be sent to the legislature for final approval. And the 36th Guam legislature today presented a resolution to the family of the late master blacksmith Francisco Lazama to honor his immeasurable contributions to the island. Our Daniel Perez reports.
This morning at the CAHA exhibit in Hagatna, Speaker Therese Terlahi, joined by her colleagues, honored master blacksmith Francisco Cruz Lazama, better known as Corned Beef, for promoting, preserving, and perpetuating the cultural practice of blacksmithing. Sean Lizama is his son.
He really wanted to preserve this piece of our culture, right? Blacksmithing, which he learned from Tunjak Luhan in the 80s. And he practiced it and he taught it for over 30 years to various apprentices, but not a lot of them stuck with it. But throughout the years, he's just grown to be loved because he was always in the cultural scene and all the things he did for the community.
For almost 40 years, Lizama has been preserving and promoting the arts and our culture on Guam.
He wanted to perpetuate culture above everything else. I think he wanted to perpetuate culture in his family, in everyone he met, with the kids at Hurrah, with his artists, and so he took care of the artists as well. And he was an advocate for Guam, and he just wanted to be sure, I think, with everything he did, that he showed the true culture of Guam.
Aside from perpetuating our culture, he was also a veteran. He was drafted into the U.S. Army and served in the Vietnam War. While in Vietnam, he was wounded by grenade shrapnel and returned home and was awarded the Purple Heart Medal.
He took care of his fellow veterans. I saw firsthand how he loved them, how he would show up for them, how he wanted to make sure that they were okay. And I really appreciated that about him.
Daniel Perez reporting for Guam's News Network.
The Guam Visitors Bureau showing off what we have to offer to potential Korean tourists during a trade show held at the Sheraton. According to GVB Korea Marketing Manager Colleen Cabedo, on island for the Guam Again trade show is a delegation from Korea made up of 48 of their partners from Korean media and social media influencers. The hope is that they will take back what they've experienced and share it back home.
Many of the Koreans are able to travel now to Guam. They're fully vaccinated, and when they come to Guam, they're already tested, so they feel safe and comfortable about traveling overseas and traveling to Guam.
As KUAM previously reported, a delegation from GVB will be heading to Korea on November 15th. The Visitors Bureau estimates that we could see close to 4.5 million tourists from the Korean market alone between now and the end of next September. And we're seeing economies all over the world beginning to thrive again, but many businesses in the Asia-Pacific region are still forced to rely on government assistance and the local community to remain standing. Here's Tyler Machinani's report with Inside Business.
From a river rich in history to Latte sites signifying tomorrow's strength, the Valley of the Latte has offered the island and those who visit a journey into Guam's past that you can only find in the south. But travel restrictions and a shot economy has posed challenges to them.
It's just not the scenes that are out here, beautiful river, flora, fauna, but it's also the people that make up this place.
Like many businesses on Guam before the pandemic, Valley of the Latte was bustling with guests from all over the world. But as president and CEO Dave Tadinko explains, operations were affected and they had to make the tough decision to let people go.
We used to do 3 boats a day. We're doing 1 boat a day. We used to be 7 days a week. We're 5 days a week now.
He says the support of local and military guests, along with local and federal aid, have been their saving grace.
The programs that have been put together by GITA, the governor just recently announced a program to help small businesses, particularly in the tourism industry. They're allocating $50 million. The governor pledged already $25 million.
It may not be nearly as busy as it used to be, but the team is taking this time to improve the experience to offer more to guests when they return. With the recent build of their Micronesian village, Tadinko says he has every confidence that they'll recover.
I have a film crew here from Japan. They're doing a show for a variety program that they put on and to tell the story of Guam, and they were saying how beautiful it is today. I saw GVB is going to have 50 travel agents from Korea coming in the next week or so, and so slowly but surely we will recover. But I think the government support is necessary to provide that bridge, because the quickest way to the recovery of the economy and tourism is to help the infrastructure that we built over the last 50 years stand itself up again and allow us to be able to do that. I think we just need to stay the course and focus and make sure that we can take care of our people so that when our guests start to arrive again, we can take care of them.
With Inside Business, I'm Tyler Matsinani.
Sports is up next with Dave Delgado. Keep it here. You're watching KUAM.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Mas.
There will come a time when people talk about how Hyundai makes the best car on the road. Now seems about right. The technologically advanced Hyundai Elantra is the 2021 North American Car of the Year.
At the Boca Box, we understand that everyone is different, which is why our meal plans are designed to fit different lifestyles. Whether you need easy and convenient meals because you're on the front lines, breaking personal records, or just trying to live a healthier lifestyle, we have a meal plan for you. Our meals are made with the most fresh, all-natural ingredients that are always grain, gluten, and refined sugar-free. Spend less time cooking and more time living. Call us at 922-BOCA, visit our website, or stop by our cafe in Hagåtña to start your meal subscription today. The Boca Box, real nutrition made daily.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
There we go.
Athletes grades 7 through 12 had the opportunity to showcase their talents at the 671 Recruiting College Combine and Clinic. Participants were measured and timed for the high jump, broad jump, L drill, shuttle, and 40-yard dash.
Finish.
I'm always looking forward to trying to help the kids do whatever they can to succeed in life. I was very fortunate to have mentors in my life to show me what it takes to do that. Guam kids are, we got the heart and the fight in us to get it done. And, the famous saying is, you can do anything you want, you put your mind to it. So, this is a good start for some of these kids. They're going to get through this season. After the season, they got big decisions to make. With a little bit of hard work and determination, they'll make it for sure.
For the underclassmen and middle school athletes, this was a great start to begin lowering their times. Class of 2021 prospects have decisions to make after this school year. Bob Harmon from Olivet Nazarene is the Pacific Rim Athletic Liaison for the university. Harmon will be helping athletes with information and what's needed to get to the next level.
Great athletes working their craft. What I like also about here is, we've got a couple different teams. And right now, they're not thinking, I'm from Tizon, I'm from Guam High, I'm from Father Duenas. No, they're one group. But there's a lot of good athletes. I mean, these kids can play. They can move, they can play, they can compete. I've coached and recruited kids from Guam. These kids have the same aspirations as anybody else. They want to play in college. They want to play at the next level.
There will be a recruitment seminar held tonight at 7 p.m. at TGI Fridays in Tumon. Those interested in gathering information that will help them with their decision process should attend.
These kids are pretty driven. And, what I love about Guam kids is they have a high work ethic, and they want to achieve the highest that they can in their competitors, and that's what I love about these kids that are competing. All they need is a chance, and a lot of coaches don't come out here, and these kids, if they just need a chance, they need an opportunity, and the sky's the limit.
Now for some programming news, Monday, November 15th on the stations of KUAM, NFL on CBS, 4 in the morning, the first of 2 games for you. The Cleveland Browns at the New England Patriots. Keep it locked to KUAM TV 11, 7:25 in the morning. More NFL on CBS. The Seattle Seahawks at Green Bay Packers. Change the channel over to KUAM TV 8, NBC Sunday Night Football. Kansas City Chiefs at Las Vegas Raiders.
KUAM Sports is brought to you by Docomo Pacific. Better together.
You are everything that matters to me, and I promise to do whatever it takes to keep you healthy, to be comfortable, and to be free. I love you. As long as we're together, I'll always make sure that home will always be our best place to breathe.
Yaman, reintroducing the Tumon Pans with plenty rice. Every day of the week, Tumon Jamaican Grill has a special for you for $20. Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays features jerk chicken and ribs. Thursdays, the sweet and tangy Jamango barbecue ribs. Friday, check out what we caught for you in our fried local catch. And finally, our weekend family platter is only $50. That's $9 off. Yaman, Tumon Pans. Call to order 647-3000 or 4000. Yaman, Jamaican Grill.
Yaman, serious food.
Say hello to the first Hawaiian Bank mobile app. Want a better look at your spending? With Money Map, you can automatically create budgets and manage where your money is going. Know when you have a green light, or when it's time to slow down. Maybe cook more meals at home this week. Set your goals, track your progress, and find your way to exactly where you want to be. With Money Map from the First Hawaiian Bank mobile app. It all starts with yes.
All veterans, regardless of their branch of U.S. military and no matter how long they served, are invited to this weekend's Veterans Standing Together celebration. The event is a special By Veterans for Veterans fundraiser in support of the HMI organization, a local nonprofit group advocating for the continued progress of proper benefits and care for all members of our community who took up arms in defense of liberty and freedom in any era. Members Roland Roro Ada and Tony Tyron.
Some of them, are just they heard of some of the stuff that happens in the VA as well, and we're trying to teach them that they're getting a little bit better, and we're trying to help get what they deserve instead of just sucking it up and driving on. And so these guys are like I said, they've helped other veterans to realize that okay, now I can get some help, or these guys are going to help me get it.
If they're a veteran and they need help or services, we try to do our best to treat everyone like a general.
All veterans are welcome at the celebration starting at 3 p.m. at VFW Post 1509 at the Jigo Town Center this Saturday. And the U.S. Air Force is conducting a flyover tomorrow in Guam and Saipan in honor of Veterans Day at 11 o'clock on Thursday. A C-17 Globemaster III and its crew from Alaska will fly from south to north along Marine Corps Drive, passing Adelup along Tumon Bay. The C-17 will then continue to Saipan, where it's scheduled to pass over American Memorial Park at 11:45 a.m. 36th Wing Commander Brigadier General Jeremy Sloan extends his appreciation and gratitude to veterans that have secured freedom, peace, and prosperity for our country and its citizens. Past or present, each veteran has a story of selfless service that echoes long after their duty ends. And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
It's your midweek version of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club, so happy birthday on November 10th to Pauline Lizama, who is getting happy birthday blessings from a very, very proud family. Antonio D. Borja, happy birthday to the world's best papa, and we hope you have an awesome and wonderful day. We love you so much. Say Nana and Jaylene. Nevia Ignacio, happy birthday number 6 to our beautiful princess, and we love you so very much, and we hope you enjoy your very special day. Love always, the whole family. And a belated birthday wish going out to Stacy Lou McDonald Flores, who was born on the 9th. Happy birthday blessings. Happy birthday blessings to our Stacy Lou. We wish you a lifetime of blessings and good health. Love, your family.
Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online at KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and your birthday. That's going to do it for us here on Primetime. Thanks for watching. Good night.
In Full Zoom is presented by Calvo Enterprises, Inc. and IT&E.